So with much change happening in the last week for the Hornets, you can't help but wonder what Jeff Peterson has cooking up and if it's going to be a playoff contender team. The last time the Hornets made the playoffs all the way back in 2016. And after only winning 19 games last season, there is much to be desired here in Buzz City. Even though the postseason is, of course, a ways away, we just crowned a champion for this year. Charlotte's acquisitions and trades could make them a strong contender in the Eastern Conference next season. And the rookies have a chip on their shoulder and the belief from Jeff Peterson that they have what it takes to get to the next level.
We want to change the culture here. They made that known to us on the visit and the interviews at the Combine. So it's bringing in high character guys that are about the right things, about playing together, about winning. And, you know, that's going to take some time, and we're all here, and I think bought in to be able to do that.
These guys are winners. You know, it was a huge part of the equation in wanting to draft them. You know, whether it's in high school or college, they all have, you know, a ton of accolades, but you know, winning is the priority for them. They hate losing more than they love to win, which is what we want to be about.
Well, when you're talking hoops, especially the Charlotte Hornets, there's no one better to have on the show than Hornets beat writer Rod Boone. Rod, welcome back to CSL. How's the offseason been treating you, my friend?
Crazy as usual. You know, it's covering the Hornets. You know, lots of moves last couple of days, man. It's really been crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. The Hornets have certainly been keeping us all busy around here. First, let's go back to the draft. Jeff Peterson addressing a number of needs by taking Con Knippel, Liam McNeely, Sion James, and Ryan Kalkbrenner. All of them have now signed their rookie contracts. If you had to give Jeff a grade for the draft class, what would it be?
It's got to probably be like, you know, if not a B plus, an A, because you not only do you get a shooting, probably the best shooting player in the draft that I've been told in Con, you're also able to get a, you know, seasoned kind of fifth-year player and, you know, Ryan Kalkbrenner. You also get, you know, Sion in the second round as well. And then you go out there and get Liam McNeely. You trade back in the first round to kind of get him. So to be able to get 4 players who you want to start building a culture with, to me, it was all good moves. They were all good players. They all seem like they really just want to come out and just win right now. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and speaking of Liam, part of the Hornets getting that extra first rounder was because of trading Mark Williams. Why didn't things work out in Charlotte for the former Blue Devil?
Great question. I think just at the end of the day, just Mark was not able to get on the court enough. But when he was able to be on the floor, he was a walking double-double. So with him, they wanted to move him. And then when the trade didn't work out with the Lakers, obviously he came back. They both sides were, you know, put on a good face. They really, you know, wanted to put on a good face to make sure that things worked out the right way. But at the end of the day, Mark wasn't going to be around in the fall because they had to kind of just part ways to kind of make sure things were smooth kind of going forward here.
Now, you mentioned Con earlier in the culture that they're trying to build here in Charlotte. Looking at him in particular, he was deemed by many to be a safe pick, so to speak. Do you think it was the best for the Hornets to go that route as opposed to going for more of a raw prospect, so to speak?
I think so, because right now, even though the Hornets aren't trying to, quote unquote, win right now, you got to kind of build the right way. And to me, in the NBA, you can never have enough shooters, man. You'll be able to have shooters be able to stretch the floor with LaMelo, breaking guys down, getting double teams. To have someone like Con in the open wing to be able to hit the jump shot, also with Brendan Miller, that makes them kind of dangerous.
And since the draft, the front office has been hard at work in free agency, acquiring the likes of Colin Sexton, other vets like Spencer Dinwiddie. Do any of these moves really move the needle for you?
Yeah, I mean, really think about it. I just mentioned, I mean, it's all about depth right now for these guys. The Hornets have had so many injuries to their core players where when one guy like DeMelo gets out and he's hurt, then the team just is not the same. And while Colin Sexton Dinwiddie can't come in and replace DeMelo Ball, to be able to at least have guys behind him like that is beneficial. So, well, again, while it may not be a sexy pick or sexy kind of like moves per se, it helps the Hornets out because they have to have depth better going forward. They have made some moves right now. I think they're probably gonna make at least one more to kind of make the roster a little bit more balanced with the front line.
Now, you mentioned the depth. There is still only room for 15 on the roster. So who do you think needs to make maybe the biggest impression throughout the rest of the summer leading into the season to really earn their keep and possibly stay around?
That's a great question. I think one is Tijon Saloon, and not so much to stick around, but Tijon is a guy who we just drafted last year, right? So he's a first-round pick, and he's going to play in Summer League in Vegas in a couple of weeks here, but you want to be able to see him take a leap because with the roster as it is right now, again, you don't have very many big guys. So you want to have Tijon at least pick up and be better than what he was this past year. So I want to see him come out there and improve. Trey Mann, obviously they re-signed him. He's a person who basically was killing it last year and for the first month of the season before he got hurt. We didn't see him again once Thanksgiving came around. He could have been, Sixth Man of the Year potential candidate if he had played the entire season the way he's playing early on. So he has, I don't say a lot to prove, but if he can kind of come in here and help and pick up where he left off last year, man, he can be really good in the backcourt.
You have some veterans and a lot of younger guys trying to show what they can do in the NBA. Of course, Rod, we always appreciate you joining us. But stick around. We got you coming up in Quick Six to answer a few more questions about Buzz City.
Queen City News Plus. Just search Queen City News on your smart TV's app store.